Well, hi guys, welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. Well, this is it. This is it. This is it. It's funny because when people want something to happen in the world, when it actually starts to happen, they start panicking. Did I really want that? Nobody wants to see anybody ill. Nobody wants to see anybody die. Nobody wants to see anybody move into the light. Nobody really dies anyway. We just go back home. But fear is so ingrained into us, fear of death. What have you learned over these 2 years with all the people out there? What have you learned here? It's okay listening, but it really is important that you put into practice what you've learned. Are you now putting into practice what you've learned from everybody? Are you learning how to be still? Are you learning how to conquer the mind? Do you remember when I first started saying these words? The greatest battle you'll ever have is between the heart and mind. And do you remember me doing this? Tell your mind to shut up. Maybe you didn't get that then, but maybe you might be getting it now a little bit. And it's important that we know that the mind is a devastating tool if we use it for the wrong reasons. And now more than anybody, now more than any time, do we need to use the heart above the mind. There's so much disinformation out there. There's so many people putting things out there. It's really challenging. It's basically a minefield at the moment, and that's how it's always going to be because of people's perceptions. People on the front line, nurses, doctors, seeing exactly what's going on. People who are not anywhere near that and just speculating. And everybody's fighting. Everybody's angry. Everybody's scared. Everybody's worried, and quite rightly so, because the people who really need to bring balance and stability in this world is what I call the leaders, to help encourage us to not just be calm, but through the challenging moments to say everything's going to be okay. These are the leaders that should be saying, look, don't worry, because most people, as you know, live off a shoestring. We all do. So it might be 1 week, it might be 2 weeks, it might be a month, but then we've got nothing. We're broke, and we're most of us are so close to being broke, being bust, being bankrupt, and that's the story of life. It really is. So now, when we need a voice the most, it's not really there, and we realise that we can't rely on who we thought, the government, our leaders. And that's the truth. I mean, they say one thing, say another, and, at the moment they believe it's important for us all to be inside the house. And okay, so we're inside the house. They believe that's important. So what do we do now? What do we do with our time? And it's so interesting because around me, I see confusion, I see chaos, I see anger, I see rage. I see the social media and the mainstream media fighting, screaming, and there's a great big battle going on right now. It's really interesting. I myself put out things that sometimes can be controversial, of course, can be scary, but I also put out a lot of stuff that is beautiful, and I try to bring the balance there. Doesn't matter if you put the beautiful things out there, because people will be saying, how dare you? You should be fearing and anger. Why aren't you upset for people who are dying? Why aren't you fearing? And then when you put things out there that might be a little bit controversial and fearing, then you get the other half saying, what do you think you're doing? There's enough fear as it is. And then you get the ridicule, the mocking, and all of those things. So whatever happens, whatever you do, there's always going to be a reaction, and it isn't always going to be pleasant. It's not always going to be the most beautiful reaction, and sometimes you will find that people will hate and attack. That's how it is. There's nothing you can do about that. You can't please everybody. You know that by now. You've been on this channel, I think, maybe 2 years. You've heard plenty of stories of me expressing myself on people pleasing. That's a simple way of just destroying your soul and spirit. So the question is, what do we do now? What's happening now? What are we doing? What are you doing right now to make a difference in your environment and in the world? I know a lot of people now who are sending me messages, literally crying all day, and all they're focused on is the mainstream media and anything on the all of the other media platforms. They're focusing on the negative. Everything's on the negative. And again, that's a choice we make. So you can say to me, well, how do you do that? I said, look, you know what? If I wanted to, I can sit and look at negative things all day long and I can be pulled into it just as easy as you. But I realized that doesn't work. It doesn't help. And the reason why is because you can feel it in yourself. Your change, the way you feel, your energy, and all of a sudden you feel weaker, you feel fear, you feel hate, you feel anger. That's a great measuring stick or a great marker or a starter for you to say, okay, this is not healthy. And it isn't, because that weakens all your immune system. So you can focus on that. You will, however, feel a guilt that you should be. And you know what, guys? How about letting other people focus on that? Let other people. There are, at this present time, I know I shouldn't really be saying this, but there is a huge global push right now of light workers. There's a huge global push right now of people who are trying to awaken the masses in the world, and they believe that this is the pinnacle of the change. They call it the awakening. This is it. We predicted this as just day by day. We felt there was a change coming, and 2020 felt that like that change. And then everywhere else was said to us that this is a really huge moment in anybody's life if they're living in 2020. Here we are. The proof is right with us. It isn't the nonsense that was said in 2012. It wasn't the end of the world nonsense. This is it. It's happening right now. And there is a battle going on between light and dark, which is in a different energy, a different dimension, but still in this world. There's lots of things happening right now that you and I don't know about. But the good news is that if we put our positive thoughts in a direction of everything is going to be fine, all will be well, where I am right now is where I'm meant to be, but where I will be taken to is where I'm going, and it is a positive outcome. If you keep reinforcing that, you are actually creating an amazing amount of energy that kicks out of you, and that helps heal the world and strengthens and awakens more people. And the darkness then is shown to the world, and that's when it's destroyed. Because when we see the darkness for what it truly is, we can then take it away and change the world to a light place. That's basically what's happening right now. It isn't what everybody thinks it is, but suffice to say, there is 100 different things happening at once, and everybody's trying to find the answer. This is the cleverness of the darkness. It manipulates every single situation, so everybody's confused. Nobody knows what the one factor is, and that's the problem. Everybody's wanting to know the one reason, the one factor. But let me tell you, there are many things happening right now that are really beyond our understanding. And you know what? It's okay. We don't have to understand everything. But what we do need to do is become the lighthouse that changes the world and changes everything around us. So it's up to you. You can cry all day. That's nice. That's beautiful if you want. And if you want to cry for the world, you can do. But for me, I spent 38 years crying for the world, crying for why people did what they did, why all of these bad things happened to us, why all these viruses happened through my life. I cried through all of that. I feared through all of that. And you know what? I'm still here. I'm still here. And how did I really cope with those moments of all of those things that happened? Not too good. So now, this is my moment, as it is yours, to see how well you can cope. I'm sure you remember lots of things that you were worried about in the past. Times when it was going to be the end of the world, times when it was the worst disease ever, and whatever it was, mad cow disease, AIDS, everything, all of those end of the world scenarios and what could happen, and then they disappeared. I want you to remember those moments and put everything in perspective, because what you're hearing right now is exactly the same message as it was back then for all the other diseases. It is always catastrophic. It's always a pandemic, always, whichever one we've been through. So we have to learn from our past that instead of buying into this fear and worry, which will disappear, surely, I promise you, it'll all disappear very quickly, and all of a sudden a miraculous recovery will happen instantly. So now that you know that, what are you going to do to let it go? Now, let's address the fact that maybe you're worried about not being able to eat because of finances, because you can't work. Listen, guys, it's all going to work out. Everything's going to be fine. Be clever, be safe, and ration well. Look after yourself. Think carefully in a positive way, and please don't panic. Don't panic. I know a lot of people panicked about a week ago, and all that panic buying, all the fresh food they bought has now basically rotted and gone to waste, so most of it's been thrown away. Really, it's important that we really stay true to our belief that everything's going to be fine, and it is only the perception of what you are shown by others and mainstream media and all the other media outlets that conditions you to the fear. I don't buy into it. I just get up in the morning, go and buy my daily groceries, which are fruit and vegetables, and then come back and prepare them as natural as I do, eat them, and then I get up the next morning and do the same. I'm not allowed out of this house because they have restricted me from moving, and if I do go out of there, other than going to buy food, I will be fined €500. So I know that, so I won't do that. However, when I get out of the house, I'll walk quickly and exercise and maybe walk down different paths to get to where I need to be, but just taking more of an exercise and so on. So using your wits, using your way about you, and you do your daily work as much as you can. When you come home, it's important that you've got time on your hands now to clean the house, to do things that you didn't do before. So there's so much we can do. Meditation is a beautiful thing, cleansing and clearing yourself with all your natural oils and incense, working with your crystals. It's a beautiful time to be able to work with things that you haven't done before, because soon all of this mayhem will be over. Stop saying to yourself that this could be for a year. Stop saying that. That's the fickleness, if there's such a word, of your system is unreal. So 1 minute they say one thing, next minute they change and say another, and then it's a miracle, it's a miraculous. So don't listen to any of it, don't buy into any of it. Just do your best and say, okay, I'm going to make the best of this situation. And that's all we can do, all of us. So how make best of a situation? Well, there's nothing wrong with sharing true vital information, but you have to stay true to your purity, your mind, and your body and your spirit. Therefore, it's important that you share positivity as much as you can. So if you have to want to feel that you need to share certain things that may be a little bit not as positive, then get the balance right. maybe 10% of that and 90% positivity. And that's really how you should think during the day. If you feel like you want to educate yourself by what's going on in the world, then make that 10%. And then the other 90%, utilize that in love, power, self-power, working on yourself and doing all the things that are important. That's my message today. I've been working hard on my crystals today, also working hard and asking my developers on my website to do something really lovely, to be able to offer something to you. So it gives you some stimulation and makes you feel good. Soon as that's ready, I'll make another video and share that, you know, good information, that happy information, a little bit of a surprise to you to make you feel better. I'm going to do a global meditation, but this is going to be more about for fear and for inner power. See, what happens is when there is a crisis that we believe is a crisis, we tend to lose our power. So I'm really focused on trying to bring your power back. So I'm going to do a global inner power meditation live, probably tomorrow. So I'll probably do that in the afternoon. So maybe, I don't know, between 2 and 5 o'clock, I'm not sure yet. But please keep an eye out, and I'll do the live and we'll go through all the meditation. I'll talk you through it and hopefully have some beautiful words of empowerment. Also share maybe one story as our eyes are closed, to be able to bring that power back within you. It's something that I love doing, and to show you how amazing you are through the moments of madness and the world going a little bit crazy, that you then can feel stronger afterwards and hopefully sleep very well the next on that night. So that'll be tomorrow. I think that's it really. I wish you a beautiful day. I'm going to grab some salad now and continue working with my crystals. Thank you once again for supporting Bajerski.com and buying your authentic cleansing sticks and oils and crystals. Thank you guys. Deliveries are still going out, so we're very happy about that. That's great. And I keep going, and I hope you keep going, whatever you're doing too. And that's it, guys. Love you all. Have a most amazing evening tonight. And if you can, do a little meditation for the world at any point, whether it's 5 minutes or 1 hour. Just send love and healing to people who are making a difference and raising the vibration in this world right now. And there are literally millions who are working behind the scenes to change this world and strengthen it more than you could possibly ever imagine. Have faith. Don't give up. This is a beautiful time. I promise you. It's a beautiful moment for the awakening and to change the whole world to a better place. Have a great day, guys, from my heart to yours. Take care. See you soon.